This is not about money, at least not at first. Because if you hear the word wealth and think numbers, you will miss the real message. Wealth begins as capacity, and capacity is built quietly. Before wealth ever shows up externally, it tests you internally. And lately, you've been tested in ways that had nothing to do with finances. You were tested in patience, tested in restraint, tested in integrity. You were given opportunities to cut corners. You didn't. You were given chances to compromise. You resisted. You were placed in situations where reacting emotionally would have felt justified. You stayed controlled. That control is currency. That discipline is capital. Most people think wealth arrives as a reward. It doesn't. It arrives as responsibility. Responsibility requires stability. And stability is something you built recently. You don't panic the same way anymore. You don't overshare the same way anymore. You don't react to pressure the same way anymore. That shift is preparation. Preparation always comes before increase. You thought the season of silence was punishment. It was training. You thought the slow progress meant stagnation. It was strengthening. You thought the delays were rejection. They were calibration. Calibration aligns you for expansion. Wealth without alignment destroys people. Influence without maturity exposes people. Access without discipline corrupts people. That is why your growth was slow. Slow growth builds strong foundations. Strong foundations hold sudden increase. You are closer to increase than you think. But increase will not look like fireworks. It will look like opportunity. Opportunity disguised as responsibility. Opportunity disguised as a difficult decision. Opportunity disguised as discomfort. Sudden wealth is not always financial first. It is relational, it is intellectual, it is strategic. New ideas, new partnerships, new positioning. You will notice doors opening where before there was silence. You will notice conversations shifting in your favor. You will notice clarity replacing confusion. That clarity is wealth. You were being prepared to handle more visibility, more resources, more authority. Earlier versions of you would have mismanaged it, spent impulsively, spoken prematurely, celebrated publicly before stabilizing privately. Now you move differently. You protect information, you evaluate risk. That mindset attracts prosperity, not luck. Alignment, prosperity follows stability. Stability follows discipline. Discipline follows awareness. And awareness has been growing in you. Think about the last few months. You lost things, lost comfort, lost people, lost certain illusions, but you gained clarity. And clarity is the foundation of wealth. The reason sudden wealth is approaching is not because of chance. It's because of readiness. Readiness creates acceleration. Acceleration feels sudden to others, but to you, it will feel earned. Because you remember the quiet seasons. You remember the nights you questioned yourself. You remember the restraint you practiced when nobody noticed. That restraint multiplied internally. And internal multiplication precedes external multiplication. There is something shifting in your financial mindset. You are no longer chasing fast gains. You are building slow systems. You are no longer thinking short term. You are calculating long-term sustainability. That mental upgrade is level change. Wealth is drawn to maturity, and maturity was built in you through pressure. Pressure exposed your weak habits. You corrected them. Pressure revealed your emotional triggers. You stabilized them. Pressure showed you where you lacked structure. You created it. That is preparation. And preparation makes sudden increase safe, because Sudden wealth without structure collapses. Sudden wealth with discipline multiplies. You are being positioned for multiplication, not reckless gain. Multiplication. Before this part ends, understand this clearly. Do not announce what is coming. Do not boast prematurely. Do not reveal plans before they are protected. Wealth grows in silence. Noise weakens momentum. Stay grounded, stay structured, stay observant, because in the next part, we will talk about what this sudden wealth actually looks like and how to recognize it without sabotaging it. Now let's talk about what sudden wealth really looks like, because when it arrives, it will not announce itself as fortune. It will arrive as opportunity, and opportunity often looks like responsibility at first. You may be given a role that stretches you, a task that feels slightly bigger than your comfort, a connection that changes your network, a decision that increases your exposure. That is how prosperity enters, quietly, strategically, and if you are not observant, you might mislabel it as pressure. But pressure is often the doorway to expansion. You asked for increase. Increase requires capacity. Capacity requires stretch. Stretch feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. That is why this shift will test your composure. You cannot respond impulsively anymore. You cannot celebrate prematurely. You cannot speak loosely about your next moves, because protection multiplies prosperity. Earlier in your life, you would have told everyone your plans. You would have looked for validation. You would have shared too much too soon. Now you understand timing. Timing is wealth. Silence is strategy. Patience is leverage. Sudden wealth does not mean reckless gain. It means accelerated positioning. Things that were slow will start moving. Conversations that stalled will resume. Ideas that felt impossible will feel achievable. And the difference will not be luck. It will be readiness. You are ready because your habits changed. Your spending mindset matured. Your decision-making slowed down. Your emotional reactions stabilized. You no longer chase quick reward. You build durable systems. That mindset attracts multiplication. Money flows towards structure. Influence flows towards consistency. Trust flows towards stability. You built those traits quietly. That is why increase is safe now. There is another form of wealth coming, clarity wealth. You will see people more clearly. You will understand who aligns and who drains. That clarity will prevent costly mistakes. Avoided mistakes are hidden profit. You will also gain time wealth, time to think, time to plan, time to act without panic. Time is the rarest currency, and you are learning to guard it. Guarded time compounds value. This shift will not explode loudly. It will compound steadily. Compound growth looks small daily, but massive yearly. You may not wake up to millions overnight, but you will wake up to momentum. And momentum is more powerful than a moment. Because momentum sustains, you are entering a season where decisions will matter more, not because you are fragile, but because you are expanding. Every expansion is healthy. So stay focused. Do not compare your path. Do not rush visible proof. Visible proof follows invisible preparation. You completed invisible preparation. That is why this message feels timely. Sudden wealth also tests humility. If pride rises, momentum slows. If ego expands, clarity shrinks. Stay grounded. Stay teachable. Stay disciplined. Because the same discipline that built you here will protect you there. Before this ends, pause. Think about how differently you handle money, time, and opportunity now, compared to 1 year ago. That growth is evidence. You are not hoping for wealth, you are preparing for it. And preparation is the highest form of faith. If this message feels like confirmation of something shifting in your life, don't announce it loudly, just guard it. And if one word describes how you feel about your next season, hold that word close. Because sudden wealth does not belong to the loud. It belongs to the ready. And you are ready.